Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Moohead Radio. I'm your host, a big and furry bovine. It's just me today, flying solo. And if you want to be part of the program, it's real simple. Just go to YouTube, check out the show description. The link is right there, and you can transport yourself right into the studio. I take on all comers because I'm smarter than most of you. Especially Joe Shipley and Lumpy Monkey, who, with typical Baltimore cowardice, show up 20 minutes before the show begins to badmouth the Cleveland Browns. But I'll be talking about them, a little bit later. There's other stories that are a little bit more urgent than explaining to my audience why Lamar Jackson is overrated. The bad news, and it's hard enough hearing me harp on about brain damage caused by professional football. Then there's just the things that are inexplicable. And anybody who is an old-time Browns fan knows who Ernie Davis was. And if you don't, he was the 1961 Heisman Trophy winner, and he went to Syracuse, the same school that Jim Brown had gone to. And the Redskins chose him first overall in the first round of the draft. And the trade got moved to Cleveland, and he came to Cleveland, and he never played a football game because he died at 23 of leukemia. The Houston Texans, rookie John Metchie III, who a lot of people were talking about the Browns potentially drafting, not only had an ACL tear last year, but now he has come out and acknowledged that he has been diagnosed with acute promyelocytic leukemia. That's a mouthful, APL for short. It is the most curable form of leukemia. I lost a very dear friend of mine this year to leukemia. It is not a good thing. Better than you, Joe. Far better than you. Okay, I'll put him up there. I'm responding to him. And that's how I respond to him when he's in his gung-ho Baltimore Raven fan mode. Fuck you. John Metchie III went on to say, I am currently receiving great medical care. I'm in great spirits, and I expect to make a recovery at a later point in time. As a result of this diagnosis, I will likely not be playing football this season. My main focus will be on my health and recovery. Thank you in advance for your support and well wishes. I cannot wait to come back stronger than ever. God bless. To be real honest about this is just a bad, sad story. This is a guy who, the Texans actually traded up in the second round and sent 3 picks to the Browns to select Metchie 44th overall in this past draft. 96 catches, over 1,100 yards for Alabama before tearing his ACL in the SEC championship game. Before his leukemia diagnosis, he was on schedule to be ready for training camp. There are things that are so much more important than football. I wish John Metchie III all the best, and I hope that he survives. Playing football becomes very secondary in a situation like this. And anybody who has gone through leukemia, chemotherapy is right on the list of how they treat leukemia. And if you don't believe me, talk to Jim Donovan about it. He can tell you all about the horrors of going through all of the rigmarole that they put you through to try to extend your life. It just hurts, It's a 23-year-old kid, and he's It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. I wanted to also start out the program with the concept of out of touch. Now, and okay, we got somebody. Let's see who he is. It's Brett coming back to join us. Hi, Brett Wilson. How
What's
are
happening? Doing all right, hanging in there.
you? Good to see you back again.
Likewise.
Yeah, it's fun doing these shows. I can't begin to tell you that it's I light up like a Christmas tree, and I'm Jewish. That'll tell you everything. Out of touch, besides ripping on our quarterback in the chat room when you're a Baltimore Raven fan, when you have Lamar Jackson who hasn't proven a goddamn thing. Besides being that kind of out of touch, and this guy here, boy, what a piece of work. That's unfortunately not true. I don't know who you cheer for, but I doubt anybody cheers for you. Lumpy monkey. Where do they come from? All the lonely people. I got this. I ran into this story. It's not like I went searching for it. Shaquille O'Neal buys a 13-year-old shoes worth $6,843 after his mother posted a plea on social media. Now, at first sight, it's like, what a great guy Shaq is, what a wonderful guy. But then I realize it's like a photo op for Shaq. And I realize this is part of the publicity game for Shaq. Let me ask a real interesting question. I'm just going to go into this story a little bit. And the story just spooges all over him. All right. I mean, it's really completely publicity oriented. Why did Shaq buy this young man 10 pair of shoes? Size 18 shoes. Size 18. Kid's got big feet. Why would he splurge $6,843 and also buy a kid a suit? Well, according to Shaq, simple. The kid's mother reminded him of his own mom, a struggling single mom trying to get her son everything. Now, if he needs everything, what does he need 10 pair of shoes worth almost $7,000 for?
A lot of kids out there like that in that situation, too. He's not buying them for everybody.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm like totally, it's like, you've got to be kidding me. Do you know what that struggling single mom could do with $7,000, how much food could be put on the table? Do you realize just in basic survival terms, what could be done for her child? You know that you could start an account and build the account so that the young man has a chance at a good education?
Hope those shoes have some flubber in them or something.
I don't understand. Shaq felt the connection on a personal level and did not hesitate to help them out. Talk about a big heart. Sometimes his kindness reminds us to be like that every day. You never know what somebody is going through. Shaq as Jesus. Thank you for an article that makes no freaking sense whatsoever to me. Except now a kid's got 10 pair of shoes that are size 18. You better hope his feet don't grow.
Might want to think about being a clown.
I think Shaq already is. But then just when you think it's impossible, and I see that Bronk is trying to get in. Well, He's knocking on the door, and we will let him in. So, hi, Bronk. How you doing?
Moo.
Good to see you. Good to hear you.
Well, you're basically hearing me, yeah.
Yeah. Which is as good as seeing you.
Yeah. Well, it's
maybe
probably better.
not.
It's probably better, actually.
I want to be nice.
You're a nice cow.
I am a nice cow. Here's another out of touch. Wait, I should be doing this. Wait a minute here.
Oh, who did that?
Out of touch, out of time, out of touch. We just hauled and oded. Ben Roethlisberger appears to blame the lack of recent playoff success on players being coddled at a young age. Pigpen Roethlisberger,
he's an old man now.
Away? Can you just fucking go away, please? Please. I mean, he has a theory regarding the Steelers' lack of recent playoff success. Could it be him? I mean, please make this stop. He has a theory. Kyrie Irving has a theory.
He sounds like a 62-year-old bitter old man when he says something like that. Oh yeah, it's the younger generation's fault.
It was the monkeys' fault because they were the young generation and they had nothing to say.
Absolutely. They were a made-up band, for God's sake.
The thing I never understood about the theme song, we're the young generation and we've got something to say. What did they ever say? What did the monkeys ever, did Mickey Dolenz ever go out and give a sermon on the Mount? What did he say? And he's the only, Mickey Dolenz is the only surviving monkey.
Right. Well, I think between the Beatles, the Monkees, they could replace the guys that are dead in the Rolling Stones and have a super group that way. So,
I have a better concept. It was 74 reunion concerts for the Monkees. They kept, we're coming back, we're coming back, we're coming back. They're the only monkeys that did not evolve. And I think that is just one of the saddest things that I can think of.
Wow, that's strong.
It is strong, but I mean, at least Michael Nesmith, if we're talking the Monkees, he wrote some songs.
Yeah, he had a bit of artistic endeavor in him. He did all sorts of different things, bit of a Renaissance man.
Yeah, Elephant Parts. Yeah. That brought on the whole era of MTV. And who could forget this great song? Her name was Joanne, and she lived. I'm sorry, but I do know I do know Michael Nesmith songs. He kind of evolved. He developed No Tail from a Prehensile Tail. Okay, but the rest of the band, no. Davy Jones did not. Never evolved. Peter Tork, I don't think so. At any rate, back to Pigpen. If you're not keeping track, you Squealer fans, the Steelers just won 3 playoff games since 2010. I mean, all of this, people think, it's the Steelers. No, it's the fucking Steelers. They haven't been any good. And the last time they got into a playoff game, Baker Mayfield ripped their head off thanks to 47 turnovers, including the first snap of the game where the ball went over Pigpen's head and Pigpen just slowly trudged after it, refused to go to the ground to recover the fumble, let his center instead try to pick it up and gave up the ball. The Browns from there proceeded to pound them, much like Pigpen did that woman in the men's room.
That might be one of my top 5 favorite sports plays of all time.
Oh, it's so deserving.
It's right up there with LeBron's, chase down block. That's one of the top 5 sports plays of all time. If you're a Cleveland fan.
Myles Garrett, hitting Mason Rudolph. You know, there have been so many. The Browns circling Jack Lambert and kicking him in the groin before he retired.
Oh, Turkey Joe Jones, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dropping Terry Bradshaw on his head. Absolutely. I have so many fond memories of the Steelers. And the funny thing is, we have an idiot like Joe Shipley in the chat room, and it's like, how much can I hate the Ravens? They were the Browns. The only reason you have a team, you sissy, is because we gave it to you.
Baltimore is so pathetic that their team actually left for the most boring place on planet America, Indianapolis. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's at any rate, here's what Pigpen also said. I feel like the game has changed. It did. You stopped winning. It
got
changed
old.
for the better, Ben. I feel like the people have changed in a sense. Maybe it's because I got spoiled when I came in. The team was so important. It was all about the team. Now it's just about me and this and that and the other. I might be standing on a soapbox a little bit, Pigpen said, but that's my biggest takeaway from when I started until the end. It turned from a team first to a me type attitude, and it was hard. Harder than I was when I dragged that woman into the restroom. It's hard for these young guys, too. Social media. They're treated so well in college that they don't even own the rights to their name until the last 2 years. Now, this new NIL stuff, which is unbelievable, I would love to have been able to take money above the table.
Wow.
Pigpen's
He went to
thing.
Miami, for God's sake. So what sort of money did he have when he went to university?
Now listen to this. Do you know how many millions of dollars Pigpen has made? And he is begrudging young players the NIL stuff, as he calls it. They're treated so special. They're coddled at a young age because college coaches need them to win too. I know that my coaches, Terry Hepner at Miami and Bill Cowher, never coddled me.
Oh, he didn't get enough milk when he was a kid, did he?
But let me point out one more thing, just in case you're not totally vomiting. You know, I just assumed, Joe, that you were younger than that because of your immaturity level. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I underestimated you. All right.
Where's your food barf bag? Remember, I told you.
I'm waiting for Jacoby Brissett to start the season. I'm saving my barf bag for that. I am going to bring it back, by golly. It was a great idea that you reminded me of.
Moohead barf bag. Come on, we need it.
Here's the thing that killed me about Roethlisberger. He says that he wasn't coddled. Yet the entire game plan for the last couple of years was for him to take 3 steps and get rid of the ball in 1.9 seconds so he didn't take any damage. I mean, please, this is a guy who made his career escaping people and breaking tackles. It's like the whole thing went down the shitter because of him.
Yeah.
Coddled. I'm not coddled. They just allow me to throw the ball away in 1.9 seconds. Yup.
Didn't he complain about like Todd Haley and a bunch of his coordinators too? Whine about him. Yeah.
Well, and not to mention the coddled player. I mean, I think like Chase Claypool, he's referring to a whole series of people who are. My dog just came up and snouted me. Topaz is like, I want your attention.
Yeah, Topaz is doing zoomies in the background while you're moaning about Big Ben here.
Oh, yeah. He's saying, hey, if you're going to scream and yell, why not play with me? Yep. By the way, the Steelers maintained one of the league's lowest play action rates because they didn't want Pigpen turning his back to the defense. No, I'm being serious. I mean, can you imagine?
Really?
I'll do my impression. He face back turns. It's like, yeah. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Smack. But Roethlisberger preferred to sit in the shotgun and fire off quick passes just barely beyond the line of scrimmage. It's just unbelievable. Yet he wasn't coddled. It's like make it stop, dear God. Just make it stop.
Wow.
Hi, Key. How you doing? See you on the replay, Key. I'm just kidding. I'm just funning you. You know that. I'm just in a real frisky mood. What can I tell you?
Well, that's
When I
good.
come into my studio and I see trash talking people 20 minutes before the program, you're 38 and you have no life, Joe. If you're in my empty ghost room, chat room, all by yourself, and you're writing this to nobody because I'm not here. I don't come here until about 10 minutes till. Like,
Wow.
I'm just going to leave this, like a little breadcrumb trail.
Wow, 22 minutes before the show?
Yeah. He posted it
Wow.
at 5:38. It's like, get a life. He's just waiting for a reaction. 38 years old. That makes it
Wow.
worse, Joe.
I barely remember when I was 38. It was so long ago.
I know. Don't remind me how long ago it was.
Oh, I think Albert Bell was still hitting home runs in Cleveland when I was 38.
Happily single, Key. You're still up in Canada? Yeah.
Happily single.
I
Who's
love all
happily
my
single?
viewers. I love all my viewers. You know, Joe is now looking for sympathy. You're in the wrong place for sympathy, man. Yeah. Well, then just a little trash talk. Then take it. Just take it. Because, when you give, you get. That's the way it works. I could be like Liam Neeson in every one of his movies in the last 12 years. Joe, I know where you live. I know where you are. I will find you and I will kill you. But I'm not doing that. I'm just being real friendly. Like, so that was Pigpen's great moment of clarity.
Self-awareness for sure.
Yeah, he's really got it all figured out now, doesn't he? Can you believe
No.
that JC Tretter doesn't have a job yet? And you're telling me that being the head of the NFLPA doesn't have something to do with this?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, they released him, the Browns did, and I figured, a guy who is, he played well last year. And I know the Browns were all in on Nick Harris, but you never know. Nick Harris could go down in a crumpled heap, just like, like Lamar Jackson would. Like Conklin, yeah. You want to know who's next? Just take a look to the left or right of you there, Nick, and that's who's going down.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But Nick Harris is going to take over. I get that. There's nothing wrong with that. But JC Tretter is the kind of guy who could have got onto a team and been an important piece, even though he's been hurt a lot. But he's played hurt.
Who would be the player association rep if he doesn't get a job? Does he still have that job then? How does that work?
And that makes you wonder. The word that I hear is because of the whole, preseason stuff, the old training camp stuff, everything that the NFLPA has kind of gotten cracked down on. They're not happy with JC and Tretter, not Christ. Although I would probably think that the NFL would be anti-Christ as well, but that would just be my personal feeling. I thought that somebody would come after Tretter, but no. There hasn't even been like a nibble.
Wow.
That just can't be. And now he's going into training camp without a job. It just doesn't, and nothing's imminent. And it's not like he's demanding a ton of money. But I will just float the fact that the Browns don't seem to have an interest in Tretter because of their, but I think that it is a mistake relying strictly on Nick Harris, because you know that your running game, A, is going to have to be extraordinary, starting out the season without Deshaun Watson. Second of all, your pass protection has to be really good so that Brissett won't get hurt, so you don't have to see Josh Rosen. Yeah, it is. I just wonder, what is the low price that he would come back to the Browns for? He knows the system inside out. Go ahead.
Does NFL.com still do that thing where they've got like the 100 most available free agents, and then as they all get signed, they got whittled down. There's probably like 8 guys left out of the 100. OBJ might be one of them, and Tretter and Ndamukong Suh. They're probably like the last.
Or somebody like Jimmy Garoppolo, and people who are coming off of surgery. But what's JC Tretter's deal?
No idea.
I just don't. I don't understand why he's having trouble getting work, except for the fact that he was the head of it. Makes who would aspire to such a position, seeing what's happening here. I'd love to have JC Tretter back. I would love, I mean, the fact that Harris is surrounded by Bitonio and Wyatt Teller, I get it, but nothing better than having a guy who he already knows. It might be tough in the early going, and he needs that voice in his ear. Or if he goes down hurt, Tretter could be in there playing. He's a more than just a quality player. He is a damn fine center. I just,
Well, there you go. Maybe you should be his agent.
I don't know, because at this point there ain't going to be big money in it for him. And CO Dead wants me to answer this glorious question. Do you think Deshaun Watson would have less interest in explicit massages if he wore boxer briefs instead of just boxer shorts?
I don't know. Maybe he's got those like huggable boxers on.
If you're pondering these things, CO Dead, if you're seriously pondering these things, I'd say you need to see a therapist as well. God only knows.
A head therapist, not a massage therapist, just to clarify.
Don't even head therapist?
Head therapist.
That's not the one you want to send. You don't want to send Deshaun to a head therapist. Take my word for it. At least we can laugh about that.
No. How's Topaz? Is he still there?
No.
No. He's zooming around.
Is he? Oh, no, he's right here, right beside me. He's on the floor resting.
So and
he has asked me a question. Do I think that Watson will take us to the Super Bowl all by himself? Well, first of all, if he wouldn't go all by himself, he'd have at least 24 massage therapists following him there.
I think that's probably a take on Steven. That whole
here's a great spin. Are you sure you're 38? I don't get this. Being 1.5 games behind the Guardians isn't good. The Guardians have nobody. If you want to know how bad it is, how bad is it?
Well, I tried watching that game yesterday. It was free on NLB TV, and I lasted till the first home run went over the fence. And I said,
and then the second one went over.
All game. It off.
Yeah, it was over and done with. But I was checking the Major League Baseball trade deadline tracker.
There is
and looking for the Guardians' name to show up somewhere. Like, who are they interested in? And it's not Soto. I mean, it's not even Mr. Moto. I don't know Instead, here is what the Guardians are interested in. You ready?
A slow, big glove shortstop.
You are correct, Alex.
You're kidding.
No, the Cubs' Wilson Contreras remains on track to be moved by the deadline. To this point, the Cubs have not approached him with an offer for a contract extension. Possible suitors for the All-Star starter include the Rays, Guardians, and Mets. Wilson Contreras, do you really think he's been around for far too long? Far too long. And, what do we need? I mean, do you know how much the Guardians need?
Hands.
Yeah, it's go ahead.
It's so bad that a free game, I don't even watch it. It's pathetic. I'm not a lot older than 38, so I have things I can do.
Here's a question that I'm being asked. I mean, when will you untie Roxanne? Well, some people have a lot of sense, and Roxanne has a tremendous amount of sense not being on this program. She has a reputation.
She tried it for a little while, bless her heart, but
damn good reputation. She doesn't need to spoil her reputation this way.
Correct.
I mean, but she's free to come on here anytime she wants to. And you still got a great stadium, Joe, but you got a lousy team playing in it.
They should be ready to blow that stadium up. It's already 30 years old by now. Doesn't everything in America get blown up once it reaches the age of 30?
No. Key, I do 2 Stephen Rose impressions. There's the first one after the Texans lose. God damn, son of a fucking bitch. I fucking lose all the time. Okay. And that's with a big bottle of Jack Daniels in his hand. Okay.
Yeah, that's the non-sober, Stephen.
Right. The sober one. I'll do my end of the program thing.
Oh, one more thing.
Just one more thing.
One more thing. Sorry.
What are you, a Ritalin child? I'm closing up shop. It's lights are off. I mean,
my dad wants to know.
One more thing, Mr. Moohead. And then he'll just ask me, what's the difference between wheat and rye? And it's like, did you have to ask me that now? I got to get out of here. Oh, God. I love everybody on this show. It's just... You're right, Joe. Yeah, you can never... The only way you could joke with people like this is if you really, deep down, you really like them. So I'm just messing with you because you came in here and started the talk,
Wow.
They always have talks with teams that they never get anything done. The Guardians, it's amazing that they are where they are, but you can see that right when they get to a point where it looks really good, they just lose the last 2 to the White Sox.
Yeah.
And, and the White Sox can't hit their way out of a paper bag. The Guardians, meanwhile, they can single you to death. They got to get a lot of hits to score runs. But they lack now an important starting pitcher. And Bieber is not the same Bieber.
Yeah, he's going the way a Kluber went in the last.
But far younger in age, he doesn't have. I'm wondering, and I'm going to throw Brett on the spot here.
Ooh.
Everything about Shane Bieber was all about his breaking ball. He had about a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that he could paint corners with, but he had such an incredible dropping curveball because of the rotation on the pitch. And he was one of the guys who they said was using that extra grippy stuff on the ball that they made him stop using. And now that his rotation on his curveball, you're seeing a lot more hanging pitches like the two that went out of the park just the other day. Is there a way to strengthen your arm to be able to get that kind of rotational, spin on a breaking ball? Or is that something that may have been enhanced by a substance? And I don't mean something he ingested, but something that he was using for grip.
Well, I'm not like a baseball person, but so my knowledge on that end of the thing would be limited, but I would say that, I mean, how old is this guy and how long has he been playing?
Well, Bieber's only 26?
Okay.
Is that 26, 27 years old?
Yeah.
He's not old.
Right. Well, he's old enough to not be like a late bloomer necessarily. So if there's that dramatic of an increase in performance, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that was involved to enhance things.
I mean, he threw a 95 pitch shutout and his curveball was just on and working in his previous start. But too often, he's 4-6 this year. Too often, he's been hanging pitches and hasn't had the fine control. He's been pitching from behind in the count. I liked the Shane Bieber with Kung Fu grip. That's the one I liked, but something's changed. And even Amsterdam, who really can't see the forest through the trees, says he is declining quickly. So if Amsterdam has analyzed this, then we know that it must be pretty obvious.
And with a long season like baseball, you're just not going to be able to sustain those gains from something synthetic, let's say. It's, you're only going to be able to blast out maybe a month or two at most before basically your own production of, let's say, testosterone starts decreasing after around that time frame. So you're not going to be able to do it all season.
What's testosterone, Bronk?
No idea, mate.
It's really funny. If you took a look since the pandemic at the Dow Jones Industrial, for all you stock watchers.
Yeah, it's about 32,000.
Yeah, but you look at it, though, the last 2 years.
Yeah.
That looks, the chart, the graph line looks a lot like my testosterone level.
Wow.
Over the same period of time. So I don't know. Brett, God bless you. If you're still talking about testosterone, I love having younger viewers, Yeah,
you need to groom them more. Yep. Dear,
no, what's really bad? What's really bad is, fortunately, I have a wonderful, wonderful girlfriend. But when you're 65 like I am, and you try to get a date with women and they start singing you the jingle from Slinky, the old toy. Wow. Yeah, Inside Boy.
Well, roll on Big O.
Oh, God almighty.
Topaz looks really bored now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's hanging out. He was supposed to go for his walk, but it started raining, and it's just been, it's been raining so much here. It's here's another one, all about the money. The NFL is debuting a streaming service.
No.
Oh, stop. Yeah. It's all about the streaming now, right? American Sportsman with Kurt Gowdy. No, not that, not that kind of streaming. This is I have to throw in jokes for the older viewers too.
That was a great show. What's that like before the Pro Bowlers tour or after?
It was on the least watched slot. No, who watched? It's like, wow, Bob, did you see the last episode of American Sportsman? It's like, bunch of guys just casting into dead water going,
Yeah.
oh, I guess we just sit here and wait.
You know, a better show than that was Jim Doney's Adventure Road.
He wasn't going anywhere. That was like Cleveland's, version of Wagon Train.
It was.
Jim Doney, it's like he was fucking homeless. Let's be honest about this. He wasn't getting paid. He was homeless. Yeah.
Wow.
Again, you have to grow up in Northeast Ohio, and there will be some people laughing their ass off, and the rest of the audience going,
"What the fuck?"
I don't understand.
Yeah.
So the NFL's launched a streaming service as of today.
No.
It sounds like it would be a football fan's wet dream now, but no, it's probably not what you think, Topaz. For $4.99 a month or $39.99 for a year, the new NFL Plus service will offer access to live local and primetime games. That's the same content the league had offered for free on its NFL mobile app the past several years. So what you were getting for free, now you're paying $40 a year for. And really, the only thing they're throwing in is the Ginsu knives.
Wow.
That's it. Now, get this. NFL Plus is also available exclusively on phones and mobile tablets, which means you can't stream it on TV. I want to see a big football game on a little fucking Google 6, Pixel 6 phone.
Hey, I've done that.
It's like, where's Caramel? Which one is he? No.
Yeah, the trick with that is just hold the screen within 3 inches of your nose, and then it looks like you're in, virtual
I got progressive
reality.
lenses. That blinds me, and not with science. Good God.
Thomas Dolby.
Yes. The NFL may be dipping its foot into more streaming waters, but it's not throwing away the old-fashioned way of watching games, going to the stadium. No, they mean TV.
No, you're getting drunk and throwing things at your TV.
The future of football broadcast is $3 billion if you're willing to pay it to the NFL. $3 billion is what they're going to rake in for what the last negotiation was $1 billion for.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Let's stop this all.
Yeah, it's all about the money. Megan Trainor was wrong. It's all about the training.
Yeah.
No, about the money.
The money.
It's ridiculous. So, NFL Plus. How much more streaming can you have? I swear to God, how many streaming networks can you think of?
Oh God, what the ones over here are enough. I mean, there's Netflix, there's Paramount Plus, there's Disney, there's Samsung and LG have their own shit. There's thousands of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these things. Tubi.
Oh yeah, Hulu and
You know what I call
Apple
Tubi?
TV.
Not Tubi.
Not
I don't want it. I don't know.
That's the question, really.
That's the question. Yeah. All of these goddamn things. I don't know what in the hell. I mean, I've got DirecTV, and I'm going to be getting rid of it because talking about it's like Sputnik. It's rather old architecture, right?
Correct.
So so everything's going to go streaming, and the word is that in the wars for streaming rights to the NFL, the big players are Apple TV, and Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Those so it's the big corporate people who are going to be able to spend that kind of money. So, and God only knows what the pass along price is going to be to the consumer when all is said and done. God only knows. Yeah. So it's not my idea of I don't know. I'm sick and tired of the price keep going up and up and up. And the quality of the product is not getting better.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
by the way, there's also an NFL Plus premium version, which costs $9.99 per month or $79.99 per year.
Oh, let me guess what that is. That's Mary Kay Cabot watching the game with you.
No, actually, naked pictures of Phyllis George. Okay, I'm again relating to my older viewers.
Yep.
Yep. No, the basically what it comes with full game replays and other options, just what you wanted.
Oh yeah, that's what you want to watch when the Browns get their ass raped, and you want to watch the replay of it. That's excellent. Should get your money back when your team gets.
I have to watch those replays because of all the bad calls.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go
true.
back and feel lousy one more time. It's funny. Devontae Adams. You want to talk about one of if the earth is flat, Kyrie, and you're thinking about what were some of the other dumbest things that athletes have conjured up. Devontae Adams had to clarify his comment. They were asking him, well, seeing as how you're going from Green Bay to the Raiders, I mean, and his quote at the time was, anytime you change quarterbacks from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, it's going to be a bit of an adjustment. And it's like, Derek Carr is not a Hall of Famer.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny. Here's his explanation now that he realized that he said one of the dumbest things in history. Being a rapper, it's very vital. You've got to have the bars, obviously. You got to have the bars. The lines got to be there. But a very, very vital and critical piece of being a rapper is the delivery, right? I wasn't a great rapper the other day.
Wow. That's just poor. I mean, if there was a game management wing in Canton in the Hall of Fame, then maybe Derek Carr would have a chance of making it. So,
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. And then this kind of rounds out what I have. The Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, is pitching.
No relation to Gordon.
The legend lives on from the Chippewas on down from the big lake they call Get to Me. Superior, they said, never gives up for dead. Make this please stop and go away forever. That song is 6 minutes long, and it never has a bridge. It keeps repeating the same thing. I'm just sick of this bullshit. I'm making this up as I go along. It's like this song gets longer every fucking time I hear it.
What you could do when the Browns shit the bed, you could just do Gordon Lightfoot doing the commentary on it, because I think that would be appropriate.
But what Lori Lightfoot is pitching is a dome for Soldier Field. That's got to be the ultimate, the absolute ultimate. I give up, because if nothing else, no matter how bad the Bears were, if a big freaking snowstorm came in over the lake and you were playing in drifts of snow, the Bears could beat you. But this is
exactly.
It's an acknowledgement that they can't even beat you in the snowdrift anymore. Yeah. So they want to put a dome on. Well, I mean, putting a dome on that field, I mean, they better wait until Mike Ditka's dead. I mean, all of the, everything. George Halas is dead. Mike Ditka, the tough, Singletary guys, the guys, McMahon before he loses his memory from CTE, all of it. Dead. Yeah, my God, it's like Soldier Field can't have a damn dome. And that's what they're talking about for Cleveland one day, too. A dome.
Wow. A dome.
Yeah. They get Cade York, and they're all excited now. Yeah, I'm going to put a retractable roof over him. He can kick them in from 65 yards because we can't score touchdowns.
Oh, Rick May's guy, right? He's on the Gordon Lightfoot trail here.
Hey, Joe, I appreciate you and your father and your friends watching the show. I mean, again, I have nothing at all against the Ravens whatsoever, except that Lamar Jackson's overrated. You're going to have to do better. Got to up your game, Hector, because that's the only Bieber comment, I actually had an Aunt Bieber. That's true. Yeah. Aunt Bieber on my mother's side. Oh, yeah.
Did she live in Mayberry?
What?
Did she live in Mayberry? With Andy Griffith?
Andy!
Andy!
Give it to me, Andy. Don't put your gun in the holster back yet, Andy. You know what movie I'm watching right now?
What?
The Irishman. Have you seen that movie?
Yep. No.
Yeah, I just got Netflix. It's the only place you can see the movie is Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I drop all my money on DirecTV, I'm starting to get streaming services. So I made sure I got all the replays of, American Sportsman. And then, then you have to go back in the show. Forget it. It's not really worth it. But yeah, so that's 3.5 hour movie, man. I'm like an hour and a half into it. And it takes about an hour to really figure out where they're going with it. And now it's really getting good. So that's what I'm spending all my time on, watching little pieces of The Irishman and then, going back and doing show prep or,
So it's not a Conor McGregor documentary then, huh?
No. And Roxanne is upping her singing studio, and we got some stuff in. I was helping put some of that together, and
wow.
So I go bouncing back and forth. That's my life. Let's see what other comments are in here. All right. All right. Who would you rather your daughter go on a date with, Trevor Bauer or Deshaun Watson? I would say Deshaun Watson because she would come back from the date. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about that. Let's see.
Tumbleweeds.
Yeah, let's see here. A little Flomax humor from Rick May. There you go. A streaming service takes on a whole different meaning at my age. Thank you. That's Flomax with an F. This is like old Moohead, isn't it, Bronk?
It is. It's very we need like Ziffles back.
Yeah.
We need Ziffles.
I don't know where Ziff is. I mean, whatever became of him? He came back for a brief period of time, the piglet, and then he went away again.
Yeah. Maybe I could summon him. I'll surround a pentangle and try to summon the spirit of Ziffles to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many viewers that they come, they go, they come, they go. And Joe Shipley's guess is going to be $500 for the NFL ticket on stream. I bet you're right.
500.
I bet you're right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be something absolutely horrific. And everyone's going to be rushing to get the game illegally. So those streams are going to get shut down just as badly as Rick May's.
Well, $500, that would be, including preseason, that would be $25 a game.
Yeah, it's like buying a seat, what used to be. Yeah.
That's wrong.
My dad's Christmas present was a 52-inch 4K TV. I refuse to stream football games on my computer when I can watch that beauty. Yeah,
There you go.
but I don't want to crush you, Key, and I don't mean literally fall on top of you, because I would, in fact, crush you if I did that. But I mean
break a few ribs.
spiritually and emotionally crush you. But the human eye is unable to detect a 4K signal. This is one of the things that just has confused the hell out of me. It's like, I'm still like 1080p, right? There's 1080i and 1080p. And unless you're standing literally right next to the monitor where you can see the little tiny pixels when you're sitting back at the normal distance from the television, you don't tell your dad this, though, because it'll ruin the gift.
Yeah.
It'll ruin the gift. You know, he'd look at you and go, "You wasted all that money when you could have spent half of it and it would still look the same." Yeah. And
Just think of all those shoes that you could have bought to give the poor kids, just like Shaq.
To tie this into a nice knot. Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's nice. That's a nice present. And yeah, nothing really beats watching a big screen TV and watching the game right there. It's I think in my great room, I want to say the TV is 65-inch, but guys always kind of overestimate size.
Mine's actually
their
bigger,
monitors and TVs.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh well, what can you do? So it's Judge Judy made her ruling yet on Deshaun's number of games?
No. I really believe it. By the end of the week, I think Friday we're going to know.
I think they're waiting for some catastrophe to happen in the world where like 500 people die in one day, and then they'll announce it. The suspension while everybody else is distracted by some atrocity somewhere.
It's that song. The church bell chimes ring 17 times. I swear to God, it's drilled. Guys my age.
That is the best quote.
We forgot what we ate yesterday, but we remember that song.
Yeah.
Church bell chimed 17 times.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell. I always wanted him to sing. What would be the ultimate song for Gordon Lightfoot to have sung a cover of?
Oh, Candle in the Wind.
No, it would be something like this, I would think. Yeah, you shook me all night long. You knocked me out with your American thighs 17 times.
Tell you what, there's a fantastic cover of that by Celine Dion. You gotta check that out if you haven't already.
Seriously?
Yeah, Celine Dion doing "Shook Me All Night Long."
If you shook her, she'd fall apart. The woman is anorexic. Have you seen her lately?
No, in fact, we were never friends. So no, I don't really know what she looks like.
Oh my God! I mean, she's lost so much weight.
Wow. But yeah,
I'm your lady, and you can see through me. It's like really, really. You should see pictures of her. I swear to God, she's malnourished. It's like. Just like me, they long to be anorexic.
You'll remember this. Yeah, you'll remember this radio story. Who was the DJ that got fired for making a joke about Karen Carpenter, where he played "We Only Just Begun," and then he like scratched the record. He went like, "No, she hasn't." It was like some joke about her dying.
I got in trouble for saying that she was the matron saint of Bangladesh.
Yeah, that would get you in trouble.
That
you could have said Biafra.
Yeah, but that's back when there was a Biafra, you know. Then you have, you know, what do you call Karen Carpenter with a grain of rice stuck in her throat?
Overweight.
About a 3-wood. That's for all you golfers. Okay, I just throw something out there for you for the hell of it.
Wow.
Bring back Manny Acta. You know.
Oh, you know. Shelly Duncan.
Shelly. They give me Jelly Duncan. I don't know why they give me Jelly Duncan. I want Dunkin' Donut. They give me Jelly Duncan. And don't you think that's confusing?
Yeah.
Every time you go by something, it says Dunkin'. It's supposed to say fucking donuts underneath it. I mean, what am I dunking? You know what I thought the first time I saw it? I thought it was a baptismal place. You know, it's got like drive-through baptizing. I had no idea. But then what do I know?
Manny Acta.
Joe has been here has it been 4 years, Joe? Seriously.
Wow. So he had a sad life when he was 34 too, then.
It hasn't gotten any better. He remembers these games. I mean, it's like I found Moo after the Ravens won in a Mosley interception. Who was Mosley? I thought Mark Mosley kicked for the Browns back in the
well, there was Oswald Mosley, who was a very famous fascist in England in 1930s. But Mark Mosley, Oswald. There you have it.
Yeah. And Greg, you know, I think we all wanted there to be a decision on Deshaun, but you know, this is all about publicity and public relations. And what I'm really curious about is when Sue L. Robinson comes up with her punishment, what the NFL is going to do, what Goodell's going to do with it. I mean, if it's less than a season, that's going to be one of the most hilarious playouts ever.
Wow.
You know, because then it'll be like the NFL is going to have to step in and get it up to a year somehow. We're all waiting, but it's not something I really look forward to particularly. Hector, now that's better. That's stepping your game up. Nothing better than tying the 80-inch TV on your wife's back. Nothing quite like being a great husband. Thanks, Hector, for that.
Wow.
Oh, did Paul Sorvino pass away? Oh, man. I like Paul Sorvino. I liked him. He was good. He was in a lot of good movies. Joe thinks he's going to get a 2-game suspension. That would be the day. It's going to be a season, I think.
I've given up. I'm not even. Yeah.
Yeah. Amsterdam says he met Celine a few times. Yeah. Wow. To take her for a meal, for God's sake, she needs one.
She must just be all nose now.
At any rate, I've given you more than an hour today, and all of this off the top of my head. Hey, I do want to say, though, I love this whole split screen thing. I can keep an eye on my panelists. I can see.
We haven't heard from James Earl Jones or God lately.
James Earl Jones.
We need like, this is CNN with your new studio, and you know, the voice of God.
This is CNN. James Earl Jones. You know what is better? I'll get this out of here because we'll do another dead guy. It's like, yeah, this is Barry White for the United Negro College Fund. You see that really works for me. I mean, the whole Barry White thing. Yeah, whenever we get a win, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go, ooh baby, baby, ooh baby, ooh my darling, I can't get enough of winning games. Yeah, this is so stupid. This whole program has been stupid for 19 years. Why stop now? Brett, thank you for joining us again. I can't begin to thank you for gracing us with your youthful appearance while us other old codgers carry on. Bronk, it's always great hearing from you from merry old England. Keep up with us. And
I'll try.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same without you. And yeah.
I'm getting a lump in my throat now. That could be Karen Carpenter.
You having rice or something from the takeaway? Is that the deal? Thanks to everybody for tuning in and supporting the program. We'll be back again once again on Friday. I have a feeling with the final verdict, or at least Sue L. Robinson's final verdict. And
Joe
we'll
Shipley
see.
has posted. He says you've been doing this show for half his lifetime.
That's right. And obviously not the better half.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Great being with you. See you again on Monday. Until then, hasta la vista, Pasture Heads. Good night.